Let's see the benefits you will get from this course. Here I will share my framework, which increased my interview success rate a lot. I will also show a lot of mistakes which a lot of people are not aware about. Since they don't know about those mistakes, they do those mistakes repeatedly. And in an interview, if you do a single mistake, that could be enough to be rejected. And you can guess, if you do those mistakes which are people not that aware of, then that could be very, very dangerous in the job interview, right? And I will also show how to avoid those mistakes. I'll show how you can prepare well before a job interview. By looking at the description, you can figure out the key responsibilities or key skills and how you can prepare yourself beforehand the interviews. How to find out your skill gaps for your dream job. For example, you want to get a job at a company, or you're trying to get in a position, then how can you find out the skill gap which you should have to get the job? How you can answer questions in an interview, because the interview, they will ask you various types of questions. Some you know the answer very well, some you don't know that well, and there are hidden questions behind the question. How can you understand the hidden question, and how can we answer the questions in the interview in a good way? I'll show guidelines for freshers, guidelines for experienced people, because in the interview there are different expectations from freshers, different expectations from experienced people. So how can you prepare and how can you answer those questions? I'll also walk you through the HR screening interview, the steps, how you should prepare for this HR screening interview, some tips for that. I'll also show the final interview steps and how can you prepare well for that and how can tackle different pairs of the final interview. I'll show you Junet's framework to ace almost any job interview. How to master tell me about yourself, because a lot of people just tell their name, where they're coming from, or their education in tell me about yourself. That's a total mistake. That's a total loss of opportunity. In tell me about yourself part, you should tell in a way so that the interviewer very much convinced that you are the right person for this job. And how can you tell that tell me about yourself part? I'll show you how do I tell about myself, and I'll give some really good practical tips. I'll share the template for freshers. I'll give the template for experienced people, so that people who have a lot of experience, people who are fresh graduate, they can prepare their tell me about yourself in a very good way. I'll also show that how you can actually find which skills are matter for this job role during the interview, because in a job description you will see a lot of things are mentioned, a lot of role skills and a lot of terms you will find there, but not everything is must have or very important for the job interview for this role. And how can you find out during the interview which core skills are very, very important, so that you can focus those core skills during the interview? In the end of the interviewer will ask, do you have any questions? And a lot of people waste this opportunity. You should ask some very good questions, and by asking those questions, you can prove yourself that you are a very good fit for this job. And I will show you which questions you should ask to prove that you are a very good fit for this job. And on the other hand, you should also learn as much as possible about this company, your future colleagues, so that you can decide whether you should join this company or not if you get an offer later. And I'll show which questions to ask to get more information about the company, about your future colleagues, and your career growth, and so on. During the interview, you should show that you are very, very motivated. Because if you are not motivated, that means after joining this company, will leave very soon, maybe, right? So you should be really motivated for this job. And if you are really motivated, then how can you show your motivation? I'll also show some tips. Negotiation, salary negotiation, everyone know about that, and I'll show a couple of tips for salary negotiation as well. You will face a lot of behavioral questions in the job interview, and how can you answer those behavioral questions? I'll show a framework or a pattern. I'll also show you some mistakes a lot of people do and how you can avoid those mistakes. And I'll show you some other things. For example, some skills you should improve to do better in the job interview. And which skills are those and how can you improve those skills? I will try to show some tips. And go through the course sections. There you will see the outline, what will be covered in this course. I hope you will like and you will enjoy the course, and see you soon in the course.